Hey, peace. What's happening, everyone? On our deal with.
Recognize royalty. Recognize royalty. Gotta recognize it. Recognize royalty. Like they ain't got eyes to recognize royalty.
Drake was never American. He was always Canadian. He says he's Canadian. So I said he could collect reparations on behalf of his father. Like if his father passed and can't collect for himself, he can collect on behalf of his father, but there's nothing for Drake himself.
So Drake cannot collect reparations because he's not a U.S. citizen, but he can collect on behalf of his dad who passed. That's an interesting idea. And so I called in to Unbiased Show to kind of ask him about that. Let's see how it goes.
I see this guy Dream been hitting the link lately. What's up, man?
Hey, peace. Peace to you, Ron. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, man. Blessings for 2026 to you and your chat. Peace to everyone. Yeah, I wanted to ask, I think you're speaking about Drake. I think the last time you spoke about Drake, you said he could collect on behalf of his dad.
Yeah. If his dad passes, he can collect on behalf of his dad.
Is that true for any FBA or just an FBA who's in Drake's position?
Because think about it. The line would stop, according to Drake's unique position, the line would stop at his dad. So the reason why we can't do that is because we're collecting for ourselves, right? We're still living. So it's the continuity part. But Drake's line would end at his dad. So if his dad never got justice, never got a check, Drake could represent his dad.
What about his granddad?
Nah, it's a continuity. So it's for example, I'm collecting for ancestors plus myself.
For ancestors plus yourself? Ancestors. Like you're collecting for your dad, your granddad?
Yeah, we got a line.
But you're only getting the amount, are you getting their amount or are you only just getting one amount?
So that's the thing. We talked about if you're half, right? If you got like a Jamaican mom and an FBA dad, if it's possible, because it's still in the works, it's talks, but if it's in our dream world, it'd be two checks. It'd be two lines, two different lines. Your mom got a line and your dad got a line. So being that your mom is Jamaican and your dad is FBA, you'd be collecting just for that one line, right? In the ideal dream world. But if your mom and dad are FBA, that's two lines in the dream world. But all that's still in like talks. That just something proposed. And when you do proposals, sometimes it's approved. Sometimes they say, nope, take that off. We'll do this.
So you would be collecting the money. You would be collecting money on behalf of your mom and dad, all your grandma, your grandparents, your great-grand. Like you would accumulate all the checks that they would have gotten, or you're just getting.
Nah, I just explained that. I think you stuck on that. Continuity. I got a line. Okay, got a line. There's a line that comes from my mom. I was made by two people. Mom and daddy. Okay, so that's my mom have a line that nobody got paid, and my dad got a line nobody got paid. Yes, I'll be collecting that plus of myself. So yeah, something like that.
Is it me, or did he say no and then say yes? He really does seem unsure about this. Because here's my question. My question is, Ron, for example. Ron would get a reparations check, and if his father is alive, his dad would get a reparations check. His mom would get a reparations check if she's alive. If his grandparents are all alive, if all his 4 grandparents are alive, then they would all get reparations checks. So I'm asking if if both his parents and his grandparents and everybody are not alive, would he collect the checks on their behalf? Would he collect their checks on their behalf? Or would he still just be getting his one check? And that's what I'm asking about Drake as well. If Drake can collect for his dad, who is not alive, Drake can collect his dad's check, will he also be able to collect the check his granddad should have gotten, his great-granddad, or does Drake just get one check? The one check for his dad. The check his dad would have gotten. Because the check his dad would have gotten would have been an accumulation of all the checks that his ancestors before his dad would have gotten. But let's listen some more.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm still not sure if you know,
you
if you're
be sure.
Yeah, I'm just
sure.
not sure if you're answering the question I'm asking. Like,
Yeah, right. Maybe. Okay, cool. You're not supposed to be sure. Like, you're not. I'll be sure. This, it's really not. It's really, to be honest, it's really none of your business. To be honest, this is something that we're working out. Everything's on the table still. There's nothing solid. There's nothing written down. I just said everything is proposals, negotiations, and who knows what stays and what gets thrown out. So these are just suggestions, right? And I'm not in those talks. I'm not in those courtrooms. I don't know exactly. I'm giving my best guess and my best educated guess.
right. So from your best educated guess
No,
about
I'm moving on because I know.
no, it's a different question.
Okay, right. But it should be nothing about reparations.
Nothing about reparations.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
right.
You guys just haven't sorted it out well enough to answer any questions, or
Well,
it's just none of my business.
The main thing is none of your business, right? That's something the family can talk about. But again, I'm not the expert on this. That's something that they would have to go to those people who are actually in the courtrooms, who actually are in these positions. I'm not a faker like you. I'm not in the position. I'm not in these places. So I'm not the most qualified person to. All I can give is opinions on what I think is happening. But
Yeah,
what I
you
don't
don't-
want to do, right? But what I don't want to do is talk about gray areas, weak spots, because people like to play. And
Yeah, it does
stay
sound
in the
like a weak spot, though.
No, well, listen. What was weaker than that is you on my goddamn panel. Not a weak spot, you fool. Get off here. And just know we're due reparations, all right? Now, how it's paid out, we don't know. I just said it like 10 times. Like, we don't know. It's still being considered. It's still being looked at. But the fact that you're being disingenuous, I'm going to kick you off. So what happens, family, like a weak spot, not in a claim, a weak spot in an argument. That's what I mean.
So he doesn't have a weak spot in his claim. He has a weak spot in his argument. As if it's better to have a weak spot in your argument than in your claim. Whatever. Yeah, he kicked me off, but I call back in. Let's listen some more.
Okay, caller, you back in.
Hey, what's up, Ron?
You're back. Yeah, so
I mean, you sent me a phone number. I don't know why you kicked me off. I didn't think I was asking crazy questions.
Yeah,
I was just trying to.
Yeah, but when somebody say they don't know, and you keep asking the same question, when they say they don't know, like how many times am I gonna say I don't know? I just said this is something that's like beyond my imagination. I'm speculating. I'm guessing. And
That's crazy. I mean,
yeah, but I'm past that. I said I don't know. That's it. You don't know something you don't know. Only a creep would keep asking. So, is your mom home? Say, all right.
but I just don't know why you wouldn't be willing to even consider it or even think about it.
I don't need to. That's not on my plate at all. I'm not somebody's in those courts arguing about a payout. That I have my own strengths, and I want to speak to my strengths. I don't speak to my
But you could
weaknesses.
AI it like you AI everything else that became your strength.
well, actually, you AI, and you AI incorrectly, and I got to cook you because right now we're on the phone. I'm on the phone. I'm not.
Come on, Ron. We both AI, bro.
No,
we
no, no.
both AI. Cut it out.
Everything. Okay. So right now we're talking, right? We're gonna see how fast somebody can speak without AI. Because when you AI, it takes time. Okay. So now we can ask each other questions right now, and we can see who knows their shit and who AIs. You want to do that?
Well, you said it was your chat that asked me to come back on. So I was figuring your chat wanted to know about what I was talking about. Am I wrong, or did the chat just like my voice?
Brother. I mean, matter of fact, I got some stuff on topic for you. Like for example, when I speak to reparations, I like to speak to things that are like pretty much almost agreed to. But the payout part, that's not even something. That's not even like all we know is that they're asking for 20 trillion as the first payout. Now, how that's going to be divvied, you might have to go to Yvette Carnell channel, somebody who's really in those spaces, Dr. Sandy Darity. But from unbiased Ron, you're not gonna get that information. I don't have that. I'm not gonna pretend to have it. Nah, that's not something I even do on my channel. I don't even speak about that on my channel. So you're asking about things I don't even cover ever. Okay? So you can speak to things I actually cover.
I mean, we always speak about you. We speak about stuff you cover. We go over you. I mean, you go over it again and again. And I'm interested in stuff in questions that I have about reparations.
Yeah,
because I want to know.
I'm gonna redirect you to those channels. Yvette Carnell, she does the same thing I do. She takes live calls on the fly. But maybe I can get the answer for you in the future. So what were the questions? And maybe in the future, time be willing, look back at this.
There you go. That's a much better spirit. Yeah. That's how I was hoping you would address it the first time. But just simply because you said Drake could collect on behalf of his father, I was wondering, so he could get one check for his father, and I was just wondering, could he get a second check for his grandfather and then another check for his great-grandfather, or is each person just entitled to one check and that's it, just one set amount? Is it that just one person in your ancestry is entitled to whatever your ancestor who was enslaved was entitled to? Right. Let's say let's say you only have one ancestor that was enslaved, and that ancestor during his life of slavery should have earned or would have earned $1 million. Right. Does that mean you get $1 million and your father would have gotten if your father was alive, he would have gotten $1 million. And if your grandma is alive, she would also have gotten $1 million. So all of you would have gotten $1 million on behalf of your grandma. On behalf of your ancestor that was a slave.
And if your mom and dad are not alive, would you get your $1 million and then $2 million, an extra $2 million for your mom and dad, an extra $4 million for all your grandparents? Like, do you accumulate all of your past ancestors' $1 million? Would you accumulate all their millions and end up with like $1 billion?
Like, I'm just wondering if that's how it works, if just one ancestor gets the whole amount, or would that $1 million be split up into all of the living ancestors?
Or rather, the living descendants. If that one slave ancestor would have earned $1 million, and then he has 100 living ancestors, do they each get $100 or $10,000? Or do they each get $1 million? Like, how will that work is ultimately what I'm asking.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do you suppose that would work itself out?
UFO. God damn. Right. So let me answer that. I don't know.
Do you think that's something worth knowing?
Not right now for what I'm doing. Nah, that's on the back burner for sure.
Right, because I don't think it's an irrational question though.
Okay. And I said I don't know. What else you want?
Sure. I mean, I don't want anything else. I guess the only thing I want is to at least the acknowledgement that it's a question that's not irrational and a question that should be addressed or will have to be addressed at some point.
And you're speaking like it's not already addressed. That's why I redirect you to channels that talk about that on a regular basis. So now I'll tell you this: what I talk about,
I do listen to
So he cuts in right away. Okay, so what I was going to say is this: I speak on things they don't speak on because that's not their focal point. So they focus on the politics, they focus on the legalese and the reparations payout, all that type of stuff. They're politicians, they're lawyers, they do all that. They got economists with them. I don't. I speak on the other things. So, and that they don't. So both of us got like strengths and weaknesses. So it's like a perfect balance.
Okay, I'll accept that, I guess. It is what it is. I guess I was just hoping you would have an opinion on it, since you do have opinions on other things, and I guess I just wanted to know what was your opinion on it, and which way you thought was the best avenue to try and get the reparations thing done. But I am a little disappointed that you don't even have an opinion on it.
I'm not, because I don't give opinions on things that I don't really know that well. That's what I don't do. I don't give random opinions.
That's fair enough.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one hygiene not eat. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 bills we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet, but keep an eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go live. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the seed. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle with some meat. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets where we born and grow, only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest, say them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, you me see enough stress. Them all a fight for who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a breed the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the things said cause the streets don't
In
rest.
the streets where we born and grow, only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest, say them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one hygiene not eat. That's why enough of them get rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 bills we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet, but keep an eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go live. Them never yet plant and not try figure it. Bigger heads where you fight for the seed. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle with some meat. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets where we born and grow, only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest, say them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah.